CNN projects that Donald Trump has been elected president, defeating Vice President Kamala Harris and making a political comeback unlike any in modern American politics. Now, we can make this projection now because CNN projects that Donald Trump has won Wisconsin. You can see right there, currently ahead by 30,000 votes with 99% of the vote in. Mr. Trump is only the second former president in U.S. history to be reelected to the White House. He will return to office after 2 impeachments in his first term, followed by unprecedented criminal indictments and felony convictions. Mr. Trump scoring a landmark victory as he now heads back to power, leading a politically divided nation. Again, CNN projects that Donald J. Trump is elected the 47th president of the United States. Let's go over. Actually, let's just take a quick look at the wall here. We can see with Wisconsin, Donald Trump now has 276 electoral votes, Harris with 219. You need 270 to win. He is now over that mark. The 10 electoral votes in Wisconsin puts him over that threshold, and CNN now considers him the president-elect of the United States of America. Let's go over to the magic wall. Phil Mattingly is there. Let's talk about Wisconsin because those votes from Milwaukee that we were promised came in. That's what made the difference. The margin's actually a lot smaller for Trump than it had been, but still enough.
Right. What we've been waiting for throughout the course of the night has been a significant chunk of vote in Milwaukee had been outstanding. What we saw about 5 minutes ago was 109,000 votes that came in Milwaukee, largest county in the state, 16% of the population, usually a Democratic stronghold. That vote broke down about 80% Harris to 20% Trump, roughly, based on, as I was kind of doing the math on it. It changed the margin in Milwaukee by a fairly couple points amount. Not a dramatic amount, but a fairly couple points amount. There is still some vote outstanding, but obviously this was enough for our decision desk to make the calculation that Donald Trump's 30,000 plus vote lead right now was enough to call the state of Wisconsin, give Donald Trump, project Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States. I think what this doesn't change, despite the fact more than 100,000 votes came in a Democratic county, that vote split 80-20 for Harris, that margin, while it is significant, is still beneath what Joe Biden was doing in 2020. And so it's the similar story. It's not as dramatic as it had been in terms of Harris underperforming Biden in Milwaukee County, like we've seen in some other urban areas. Wayne County right now is still holding in that space. Philadelphia is still holding in that space as well. But underperforming in Milwaukee County by a point or around a point. At the same time, there's underperformance or matching margins in a place like Dane County, the second largest county in the state, a Democratic stronghold. Joe Biden back in 2020 won this 75.5%. Harris running about 0.6 of a point behind him. And the reason that's problematic is if you push up into areas around vote drivers like Waukesha. Look, what's interesting about Waukesha, if you push up into the more rural parts of Wisconsin, Donald Trump's running up big margins, not a ton of vote. Waukesha, Washington, and Ozaukee, we call them the WOW counties. These are the pushing out in the exurban counties around Milwaukee, where there's been some view, and I think there's been some midterm years where Democrats have said Ozaukee in particular is that type of demographic makeup, that type of median income makeup that we can really make some inroads here. Donald Trump lost a little bit of ground here back in 2020. He won it by a little over 12 points, but holding more or less the margin, shedding a little bit here, actually doing better over here in Washington County. Waukesha, crucial, Waukesha, as they like to say, third largest county in the state. So in these big vote drivers, the Democrats thought they could make inroads, pushing out of their urban and suburban areas into the exurban areas. They simply didn't.